Oh, crap.
Okay.
Okay, Michael. All right, phones are on vibrate.
The chicken.
I'm just gonna talk like this for the entire podcast.
That's enunciation.
You're welcome.
Should we just do the whole podcast where we enunciate this shit on everything?
Yeah.
Today on the VGBits BitCast,
We are going to talk about. Ooh, I can hear my jaw crack.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh.
That's what happened to me. I was like, ugh.
That's gross.
If we do that too much, we're gonna start sounding like William Shatner. Today on VG Bits, we are going to. All
YouTube.
We have a guest podcaster. Car!
Hey, it's a VGBit BitCast.
Hello. And
Greetings.
welcome.
Yay, it's episode 17, and today's date is January 20th, 2018. I didn't fuck it up now. Yay.
Got it.
I did good.
Good job.
I still can't wait to get out of January, though.
So you can call it February, July?
Yeah. There's nothing closer than February.
Unless he decides to call it Fulai.
July.
It's October. No, it isn't.
We'll go back to October. October's a good month.
It was okay.
It's Halloween.
Yeah, it was nice and cool.
I watched the Halloween special.
Oh yeah, we did that.
We did a Halloween
I
special.
was like, which Halloween special? The one we did.
Yeah, the one that we actually recorded.
Yeah, they were nice and dressed up for the event too. You guys should go watch it on VG Bits YouTube. Go check it out.
Speaking of being dressed up, we were also dressed up in the last two 8-bit challenges.
That is very true. One actually just went live.
Yeah.
Probably about 27 minutes ago, really. So go check that one out. It's Excite Bike 64.
And it's exciting, sort of.
It is very exciting.
It's a good game.
When you have proper controls.
Look at this guy blaming it on the janky controller.
Dude. That's a pretty janked up controller. It's my controller, too.
Yeah.
I fixed it, though, so I won't have any excuses next time.
Hopefully.
Fucking electrical tape for the win. I disassembled it completely, and I wrapped electrical tape inside of it, because if you've never opened up a Nintendo 64 controller before, inside the joystick has its own little housing, and you open up that housing, and inside this housing you see the joystick come down, and there's a large ball at the bottom of it. And then there's a thin section where it will hold on to some plastic rockers that have teeth on it that turn gears inside the housing. There's a little circuit board in there.
Yeah.
What wears out is these little rockers. There's like a little gap, kind of like that, and where that little joystick rides on the inside. And as it moves around over all these years, fucking mountains of plastic dust build up in the goddamn thing. Mm-hmm. But it wears out these little plastic rockers because those aren't made to last. If they were metal, it would have been great.
Yeah. But then it'd bring the cost up. And to be fair, the controller's what, 20 years old?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's a 20-year-old controller.
They were still $50 though.
That's true, yeah.
Nonetheless.
Yeah.
I put some electrical tape in there. We'll see how well it does when we record some new content.
Speaking of, we got so many more games over there now.
Yeah, your haul at PAX now.
Yeah. I walked up, I was walking by, and this guy's like, got tons of retro games. I was looking for old NES games so we could go back to doing the NES or Super NES. And, none of them were really popping out. And he's like, all these Nintendo 64 games. I'm like, oh, look at these. I was like, that one, that one, that one, and that one. He's like, you want to see them? I was like, I want them. He's like, oh, okay.
I just thought about this. Hi, everyone. I'm Daniel.
Oh, shit. Hey, our names are right here.
Yeah,
Cool.
we're there. You can see our
Yeah.
you can see our Twitter handles. But I'm Daniel. I'm the host of the VGBits BitCast. Joining me in studio as always is TJ.
The big beard from North Texas.
There he is. And then of course, halfway across the country, still from somebody else, but maybe not us, I guess. It's Michael.
Hi. That's me.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay!
Yeah,
All right, I've killed it. That's okay though.
you did good.
Cool. Now that intros are done.
I like stabbing.
You
the
derailed us like a passenger train on a new train track.
I do my best. I do my best work to create awkward silences, if you haven't noticed. Anyway, guys, how about we talk about our gaming this week?
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and start since I'm already talking. I've still been playing SteamWorld Heist.
SteamWorld Heists. Yes.
And it's still fun. Still just a really man. It's so hard to explain because I've never played a 2D turn-based shooter.
Okay.
So I mean, just imagine, I talked about it last week, but you come in, you get between 1 and 4 crew. Either you come in as a captain, or some missions will let you bring up to 4. So far 4, but you keep recruiting more and more people, and you go in. Everyone's got different abilities. Like the captain can heal everyone within 1 to 2 block radius, or I guess it's not really a radius because it's 2D, but 2 spaces over. Some of them, there's a lot of different cool abilities, and the story's really cool. One of the characters from Dig 2 you come across that you thought was dead. That's not really a spoiler. Kind of is, actually. Sorry I said it.
I'm not even going to worry about spoilers anymore on this channel.
TJ just goes hog head into it.
Well,
man.
I start talking about it, I'm like, that could possibly be a spoiler.
By the way, SteamWorld Dig 2, the planet blows up.
To be fair, Heist is like the 3rd in the series, so I mean, we're already on to the 3rd one. They should figure this out by now.
It could have been a prequel. You never know.
It's not. It is definitely the 3rd one.
Well, there goes that.
Well, I mean, in Heist, the planet is blown up. You're in space, and it's the backdrop is the exploded planet.
Nice.
So I mean, it's very obviously not a prequel.
Cool.
But the game is super fun. The story is really cool. I ended up getting hung up in a part, and I could not get past it. Like, you can go back and you can level up, but grinding's kind of like a pain in the ass in the game. Because
when is grinding ever not a pain in the ass?
right, but this one it's a lot more tedious because you can go into like you want to find a mission that's going to take you. You want to get a lot of experience out of, and get everyone out alive, and it's just it's there's not any. Like, you'll come in, you'll get 200 or 300 experience, and that's a lot. But then once you get higher in the levels, it takes a long time to keep. I mean, it's grinding. But I turned the difficulty down 1 notch back to regular, and then just kind of cruise through. It's still a little bit challenging, but it's to me, it's not about. I don't have anything to prove. I'm not getting achievements for beating the game on hardcore. I'm just there for the story, and it's good. One of the mechanics I love about the game is you can ricochet bullets. So, like, the captain uses sniper, they're handguns, but, like, different guns will have different ranges, and hers has a laser sight. So it'll show you, like, it'll ping off this barrel, go down, hit that wall, hit the floor, shoot back up, and shoot the guy in the back of the head.
So the laser
Will
from the
also
side
ricochet. Yeah.
as well, and
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're not shining the laser on shiny objects. It's just like, we're gonna do this in the game just to do it.
Well, like, it'll bounce off certain objects. Like, some floors the bullets will pass through. But like barrels, a lot of the barrels that you use for cover are also destructible. So every shot they take takes off so much life until they break. There's exploding barrels, which bullets will ricochet off those too. But like most of the objects you can ricochet off. Not all bullets will ricochet that often. Like, depending if they're long range bullets, they'll ricochet farther. Like most of the handguns, you might get 2 or 3 bounces out of them if you get that many. Some guns don't ricochet. There's grenade launchers. I think there's a rocket launcher. Only certain characters can use certain weapons. Like, only the captain so far can use sniper pistols, or I guess the rifles. So far, I found 2 characters who can use grenade launchers. Then it's just like only certain characters can use certain guns. So it kind of, it gives you a little bit of a, you got to make a tactical choice of who you want to bring and what kind of weapons you want to bring. Because the grenade launchers do have friendly fire, but most of the guns will fire through teammates. So I mean, there's a tactical aspect to it, just depending on what you want to bring in. It's a good game. It's a fun game. I love the story so far. I thought I was almost done with it, and I was like, guess what? A whole new area. And I'm like, oh, neat. So I don't know how far I am into the game, but it's a good game. And then Escape from Tarkov, and that's it. Escape from Tarkov is still Escape from Tarkov. Getting better at it.
Just like PUBG.
Yeah. Bye, Michael.
Bye. It's okay. We'll take a short break.
Okay.
We'll be right back. And welcome back, guys.
Welcome back.
We had a short, small break that we had to take right there. But everything's good now. Okay, TJ, you had just finished talking about what you've been playing. So, Michael, what have you been playing lately, man?
Tarkov, Final Fantasy Dissidia beta.
How's that beta?
I will talk all about it during my news segment. But yeah, I played the Final Fantasy Dissidia NT beta and Tarkov. Those are the only 2 things I've played. So, done.
So, I mean, okay, so have they made any improvements to Tarkov, or is it still just...
It's Tarkov.
It's still Tarkov.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get my money's worth before they completely change it. It's not a terrible game, and the final goal that they have in mind for Tarkov is to make it hardcore and like crazy, like what I was saying in the last podcast. But right now, it's still a game that a lot of mainstream players will enjoy, and I paid money to get in. I paid money to buy it and to get into the beta and stuff like that. So I might as well enjoy what I can of it now, before they change it, and before I know that they won't give me a refund on it. So I mean, it's not a terrible game. Me and TJ were playing it the other day, and we were doing what they call hatchling runs.
Hatchling runs?
They're called hatchlings, and basically, it's something you could either look at as like, oh, it's a cheap way of trying to make up money, or a challenging way to play. A lot of people will go in fully geared up with like armor and guns and stuff, and go in and shoot everything and try to kill everything. But then there's players called hatchlings. They go in with nothing but a hatchet. So that you run in and you're naked and you're sitting here swinging at like NPC scavs or players if you happen to find them, but mostly you're trying to avoid them, and you're going around like looting and putting stuff inside your secure container. If you put it into your secure container, you can't lose it if you die, and then small. You can sell it. It's very small though, so yeah. It's just a very little risk, little reward, possibly lots of reward if you're lucky.
Yeah.
But that way you go in and you're not having to worry about losing the stuff that you just brought in from your stash.
It's a lot of fun.
Just imagine now you load up the game and there's a bunch of naked guys with hatchets running around going, wee!
It's happened. Yeah, there's been plenty of people.
You're not technically, I mean, you have clothes on, but you don't have any gear. Like, I mean, no gear. You're not bringing helmets, you're not bringing armor, no backpack, no vest, no nothing. Just you and a hatchet. It's a lot of fun.
It's not like Rust where you go in and you're buck naked and there's a big sensor bar over you or anything like that.
In the wind.
They have a very thin, like armor looking like suit,
Okay.
on.
Okay, so
that's it.
They don't do
a
like
tactical sweater with camo pants on.
Okay, I was gonna say, so they don't do like the t-shirt and underwear type deal, like
Nah.
No, not like PUBG or anything
You
like that,
you look
no.
like a professional going into a field of enemies with just a hatchet.
Yes.
But it's good fun. I mean, a lot of it's just dumb stuff happens. Like we were playing and we were running, and there's one map called the Woods, and you go in and there's a sawmill in the middle, and we were running in there, and I saw a dude in the warehouse, and I was like, oh, there's a guy in the warehouse, and I don't know where Michael went. I think he like veered off to be tactical, and I just sprinted right through the warehouse. And he was like ducked behind watching some other people shoot, and like he heard me at the last second and turned around. And he's just like, oh, and I'm just like club him in the face. It was a good
Yeah, a
time.
hatchet to a unhelmeted, like a person with no helmet. If you hatchet him in the head, it's one hit.
Really?
Blam, dead.
Yeah.
However, that's
mean-
why a lot of people just go in with like a helmet that you can buy from the store, and it takes 1 HP away rather than a 1-hit kill. So
Oh.
Yeah. So
yeah,
if you're listening to this, and you're like, oh, that sounds like fun. If you come upon an enemy that has a helmet, hit them in the legs or the arms or anywhere else.
yeah.
Take out their
That's
limbs.
the most annoying thing about scavs, by the way, like NPC scavs.
Oh my god.
They programmed the NPC scavs that you fight so that they don't aim for your head or chest most of the time. They will, but most of the time they will aim for your fucking arms and legs. And if they, it's annoying because you're sitting there trying to run, and an NPC scav will be like, and like your legs will go dead, and then you're sitting here hobbling
Oh,
the entire rest of the
shit.
match.
You're literally
and you have to
a
have-
crawling duck.
Yeah, and you have to have painkillers in order to be able to keep running. Because once a limb is zeroed out on your health thing, it's unsavable.
Oh my
You
God.
can't heal it anymore. Yeah,
So each limb has a health bar, and you can stop bleeding and with
yeah,
different stuff.
you have your left arm, left leg, right leg, which are all their own. Then chest, head, and stomach. And if they zero out your stomach, you get hungry and thirsty faster. So your hydration and energy goes down quicker because your stomach is just going.
You just get a big hole in your stomach. You're like, oh, I'm hungry. Plop, plop,
Yeah, I
plop,
mean-
just fall on the ground.
It sucks too because if you don't have any painkillers and you're sitting here with a zeroed out stomach, your guy is just constantly going.
It makes so much
as
noise.
you're walking. So if you think you're trying to be stealthy, think again.
Oh shit.
we were playing, and he had lost his legs, and we were going for an objective that we weren't even supposed to be going for. But the whole time he has no legs, but he has the key we need. And like everywhere we're walking, he's making so much racket. Ugh. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like I should distance myself from you.
Yeah,
Just
that happens.
leave him out in the field and let him go. "Ah,
I needed him. He
ah."
had a
You
key.
just-
He had the key
But-
I needed, or I thought I needed.
But there you go. That's what I've been playing.
It's a good time.
It sucks that they're going to just change this game because it sounds actually super interesting.
Yeah.
Like right
Yeah,
now,
right.
it sounds good and interesting, and now they're just going to go hardcore mode like you had talked about last week, and I'm just like, I
Yeah.
Yeah.
still don't want to invest money now.
There's-
Yeah.
There's so many mainstream players like buying the game that once they do go into this hardcore mode or whatever, there's going to be so many complaints that I feel like they're going to have to make another like mode in the game that reverts back to the way it is now.
I hope so, because I mean,
So yeah,
it sounds too interesting right now to just completely go a whole 180 on what's going.
Right now,
There's-
I was gonna say it's a really good game and it's fun to play. They're having the same issues that I think plagued PUBG. There's still a lot of desync and there's a lot of lag, and it's a lot of the reason I won't bring in my really cool guns because I know that my abilities aside, the server will kill me regardless.
it's not as bad as PUBG.
Not as bad, but it's still pretty bad
but
sometimes.
it's still pretty bad sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. With what I was saying last week about the podcast, or sorry, about the game in the podcast, sorry, in last week's podcast, was they're going to make it, because right now when you play a game and you create a character, you're given a choice of 2 factions to select. Right now, that the faction selection doesn't matter. It doesn't, because if you run up, like there's a faction called Bear and a faction called USEC, and it doesn't matter who you run up against in the game. If you run up against another USEC and you're USEC, it doesn't matter. Boom, 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 dead. You know. But with the way they're wanting to make the game, they're wanting to make it so that like there might be a penalty for killing members of your same faction. So it's promoting more squad gameplay. Basically, they're wanting the game to become a very squad-based game, and it'll be less about run and gun and more about like very, very tactical, hardcore, teamwork.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that'll be fun, but at the same time, you have people who will not communicate whatsoever. Like,
yeah,
like I get that you're socially awkward and you don't, but you're playing a team-based game. Communicate with me. I was playing a game, but now I can't think of what it was that I was playing. I was trying to get people to talk to me, and they wouldn't talk. I was like, all right, screw you guys.
It wasn't Overwatch, was it?
No, I'm still uninstalled Overwatch.
It's still uninstalled? Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's hard, man. I was watching a friend play last night. I was like, man, I should reinstall that. I'm like, no. I have to go, dude.
Well, I guess we'll continue to I will continue to monitor Tarkov from a distance right now until I see how and what direction the game's actually going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then maybe I will join in on the fray. But until that point, there's no way in hell I'm going to buy it.
Yeah. No, as soon as you do, all of us will quit playing it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You should buy this game. No, buy it. We all quit playing anyways.
Yeah. All right. Well, so that's what you've been up to then, Michael.
Yep. That's what I've been up to.
All right. Well, I haven't been doing anything too super exciting. Recently, I reinstalled Broken Sword, and I started playing Broken Sword again, the director's cut that's on Steam.
Mm-hmm. I saw you playing that on Steam.
It was I got a wild hair up my ass, and I was like, I really want to play Broken Sword. I bought that game back when it came out on the PlayStation back in '96. I want to say is when it came out.
Sounds right.
I mean, it's a point and click adventure game, so it's kind of my thing. I enjoy point and click adventure games.
Yeah.
But Broken Sword was always one that just kind of held out there at the really good for me, just because the story was interesting. Now the director's cut is really weird, I should say. It's almost like they took the game, but then reskinned a lot of it for mobile.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's available on Android Store. So you go on Android Store and you can download Broken Sword, but on the Steam version, the director's cut, they added a whole large segment at the very front of the game where you are the reporter Nico, and it kind of flows the story into where like the main character that you play, which is George Stobart, why Nico and George kind of end up at the same spot at the same time. They kind of explain that a little bit more. She is going to investigate a guy who called her. She was writing a story about a high up official in the game, and it was going to be a huge corruption story. It was going to make her in more or less, but then her editor said, no, I'm not going to print the story. And she's pissed, and then she gets a call from a guy named Collard. Said, we should talk. We're going to talk in this little cafe. And then it kicks over to George, which at the first of the game, George is an I almost said American terrorist. God. Tourist. Well, technically, if he's a tourist, he could probably be a terrorist as well. He's an American tourist that's in Paris on vacation, and he's got a freaking law degree. But I don't know why they was like, "Hey, he's got a law degree." It's like, got it. So, cafe blows up, and he's there, and then he's got a boner for justice, I guess. He's like, "I'm gonna bring this clown to justice." I like their little short animated sequences that they had. Was really interesting and good back in the day, because it's all just hand animation. It's not anything like 3D. The whole game is all like hand animation stuff. So
Very cool.
it was a super fun game.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it back in the day, and I still enjoy it. It's particularly, I mean, you go around different locations, like you're in Paris, you end up in Ireland, you end up in Saudi Arabia. I think it's Saudi Arabia. I can't remember exactly where. It was a Middle Eastern country, but I can't remember exactly what the country was. Favorite thing about that was back a long time ago, I got stuck in this Middle Eastern country section because you're chasing a guy to get a little bit more information regarding the Templars. And there's a specific spot in the game that you cannot, it's hard as fuck to be able to see what's going on. But there is a kebab seller. And the entire time when you talk to him, he goes, "Kebabs for sale? Most good." But there is a damn toilet brush that's hanging from his kebab window or little kebab stand. Now, there's an owner of a hotel that lost his toilet brush. This is where the toilet brush went. I think for 2 months, I could not find that damn toilet brush in the game. Just because it was so freaking small.
Yeah.
Every time I would try to hover over it, it's like I don't see anything there. Look up FAQs way back in the day. Yeah. Oh, you got to get the toilet brush. I don't see any goddamn toilet brush. I got stuck there for so long until one day I accidentally hit just the right spot. I was like, "Here's the toilet brush."
It was one of those pixel perfect selection points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so annoying.
I remember that because I remember you complaining to me saying, "I can't find this damn thing." And I'm like, maybe I can help. And like we sat there and you were walking back and forth and I was like, you're fucked. You're on your own, man.
I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, I know what I'm supposed to get, but how am I supposed to get it? Where is it? I don't see a toilet brush anywhere. I need the key to get to the Jeep, but I can't get to the key to the Jeep because I don't have the toilet brush. It's at the kebab seller. Then all you had to do is say some line in Arabic to him and then piss him off, and he chases you with a knife so you could steal the toilet brush. I was like, God damn. This is a great game, though. I enjoyed it so much. So that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Excellent.
I want to finish it too. I really need to finish it again because Broken Sword 2 and Broken Sword 3, both of those were great. When they moved on to like the 3D version, it went downhill. I did not enjoy the 3D version, and then they've just kind of continued to get weird from there right now. So
that's how I felt with the Monkey Island series. Like I enjoyed 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, the 3D one was kind of like
for the PlayStation. Yeah, on the PlayStation 2, it was it was I still have it.
It uses recycled like songs and stuff from the third one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that at the time when I played it, but like after I was doing the Monkey Island series on my channel, on my YouTube channel. I have 1, 2, and 3 done, and then I was like, I'm gonna do the whole Monkey Island series. I said it in like my first video of Monkey Island 1. I was like, I'm gonna try and do the whole Monkey Island series, and I got Escape from Monkey Island installed on my PC, and I started playing it, and like I was recording all of it, and I was like, man, there's a lot of recycled music in this. Like, this is a song from this point in Monkey Island 3, and I got further. This is a song from this point in Monkey Island 3, and then I was just like walking around as Guybrush, and I'm like, this is boring as shit. Like, I'm not enjoying this at all, so I just stopped.
Well, they turned him into a weenie in Escape from Monkey Island.
They did. They turned him into. Yeah. Yeah, they did.
A huge weenie.
Yeah.
In 3, I mean, he at least retained some of his hilarity and badassedness, but in Escape, he was just like, he's worthless. He can't do anything. The only good thing about Escape from Monkey Island was building the abomination from all the parts seller.
Oh, yeah.
He's creating the abomination. He's like, use abomination. Ah! And he throws it, and then your entire inventory is now littered again with pieces of the abomination. So if you want to limit your inventory size, you got to put the shit back together and just create an abomination.
That's funny.
But yeah, I didn't enjoy the change from 2D to 3D for Monkey Island.
Yeah.
And the same goes for Broken Sword.
Yeah. It's just so messed up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Some point and click adventure games shouldn't be changed.
Yeah, I feel like they lose their charm. Like, just while you guys were talking, I was like the transition from like 2D games, like 3D games look terrible. They do not age well. But these old, like, you know, the first 3 Monkey Island games still look really good.
Mm-hmm.
Just the hand drawn animations and all that stuff, it ages really well. And then you go into 3D, and like, you know, we're playing 64 on the 8-bit challenges, and it just. A lot of these games look really, really bad.
Yeah, it's really rough.
Like, you've got 8 polygons, and they've just got it's a JPEG just layered on top of it, and it looks really bad.
We were scouting a couple of games earlier this morning, and one of them was WCW versus NWO.
I played this game a lot, and it looked okay back then.
In the intro,
Of course, it looked okay back then because he didn't really care.
Well, I mean,
You know?
I cared. The graphics were great. You're like, oh, well, it looks just like Kevin Nash. And you're like, oh, yeah. And you get in there, and now it's just, boy.
It looks like a mash of Nash.
It's a Nash up.
on the intro, oh, it's so bad. There is, okay, so there's like an 18-wheeler that looks like it's trying to come over a hill, but in the foreground, it's like somebody took a shitty PNG file and like cut around it for transparency. So it's just static and sitting there, and then you just see like a 18-wheeler go come up, and then it just goes down and then off to the side.
Oh dear.
The entire time, it's like that hill of a PNG file is just sitting there. I'm like, oh, that's not good. What are you hiding behind that?
And the music, not good. Not good.
All MIDI.
It's midis all day.
Yeah.
I think
Like early 3D games can be pretty bad. There's some that have a little bit of charm to them, but just like 2D games and stuff like that. But a lot of the times they were there was experimental.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think what limited a lot of these games is they weren't played on 40-inch screens.
It's true.
They were on CRT monitors. And they were like at max, 20 inches.
Yeah.
Like
30
inch, you had a big ass TV. But like in my room, I think we had an 18-inch.
Those TVs were blurry as hell back then. Those CRTs.
Great old
So
320.
You know what sucks is they look super crisp. Like I remember everything. Like I watched The Lion King on VCR and everything looked super crisp. And then like I'd watched like Lion King on an HD TV and I was like, good Lord. This looks terrible. I remember these lines being crisp. I don't know if it's if it can't. I don't know.
Upscale issues.
Yeah. Maybe it's like when you're watching a video on your phone, you can watch low resolution, everything looks okay. But if you were to watch 480p on a larger screen, you'd be like, oh God, I can see all these pixels.
Look at all the blur.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Is our TVs are too big now for the old consoles. It doesn't lend well to it.
Good art direction can take a game a long way.
That's really true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A game, an old Super Nintendo game that looks good to this day, even on big televisions, because it had such fantastic art direction, was Super Mario World 2: Yoshi's Island. That game still looks awesome.
It's so colorful, and then one of the things that I kind of like about it is a lot of the lines are big, thick, bolded lines. So it's not anything that's, if it's razor thin, then it just kind of muddies everything.
Yeah, that weird, that pixel popping type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I watched on AGDQ. I watched the speed run or the race that they had for Super Mario World 2.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, it's still like one of my favorite games from Super Nintendo.
Oh, you just can't beat a Mario game. You can't.
I don't think I've ever beat one.
DJ can't beat a Mario game.
I did beat Odyssey. That's the only one I've ever actually beat.
Oh, that's your first Mario game you ever beat? Oh my god.
You would think with all the Mario tattoos I have that
no lie.
I put in the effort, but no.
No.
Funny thing, I don't actually like Mario that much. Everyone's like, you a big Mario fan? I'm like, not really. It's more of a Nintendo thing.
Like, gotta have the icons.
Yeah. It's like a tribute. I'm not good at like 2D platformers. Is not my thing. I'm not good at them. I want to be, but I'm not. Sorry. I'm only good at Nintendo 64 games.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Getting my ass kicked right now.
I'm on like a 4-week win streak right now.
God. Once we get to PlayStation.
I never owned a PlayStation.
Good.
Went from Nintendo 64 to PS2.
Good.
Yeah.
There's not any difference between a 64 and a PlayStation. They all play the same.
Loading times.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Cartridges are the best.
I remember going to my friend's because he had a PlayStation, so I'd go over there and we played Twisted Metal. I'm sitting there, I'm like, why is this taking so long? He's like, it's discs. I was like, that feels like it should be faster.
It should.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Cartridge, you're like, on, playing, yes.
I wish we would go back to cartridges.
Well, I mean, Nintendo still uses them.
I know. They're the only ones that are smart. Well, they went disc for a little while.
Yeah.
They went back to being smart. Now they just need to increase the size because freaking solid state drives, man.
I mean,
they went to disc with GameCube.
Yeah.
The tiny discs.
Why such a tiny disc?
Because
tiny
at the time, remember mini discs were about to be a thing, and Nintendo's like, let's jump on that, and everyone's like, nope.
Mini discs were never going to be a thing.
They were almost a thing.
They weren't.
I worked with this dude who was from Malaysia, and he had a mini disc player. He was rocking the shit out of it.
Only person ever in the history of anything. Look, I worked for Circuit City back in the day, and I sold stuff like this.
Yeah.
I never sold a mini disc player. Ever. It was CD player, or when MP3 players came along, it was MP3 players.
Yeah.
Nobody bought a mini disc player.
This dude had one. He had like a case in his car with all his little mini discs in there.
God.
He's like, this is the future, man. He's like, I'm on it already. I'm like, it seems like you'll lose those real easy.
You guys are forgetting about the true, like,
hit clips
jump into the future. Laser disc.
Oh my God.
Oh man, those were massive.
Laserdisc. Hey, well, I will give Laserdisc this. You could pause a fucking Laserdisc and you have a crystal perfect image when you pause it.
Yeah. They were high quality.
That was the shit. But god damn, the only time I ever saw a Laserdisc was I was in a school.
Yeah, yeah. One of my teachers had one. I remember seeing it. I was like, wow, that is huge.
Yeah.
Freaking big ass
discs.
discs about the size of a record. God.
Crazy.
Why Laserdisc?
I don't know.
Bigger, they couldn't figure out how to get more storage on a tiny disc. They're like, what if we just make it bigger? They're like, fucking genius over here.
Aha! Let's make it the size of a record so people will have records because that's a thing people liked.
And one guy at Memorex is like, could we just make this more dense? I feel like this would be easier.
So at what point does the hipster roll back on Laserdisc? Because we've come back to records.
Man, I think that's got a good 20 years.
You think?
Yeah, where there's no way anyone's going to find a Laserdisc except in the basement of some middle school that's been shut down for a good 10 years. Someone should be digging through. Oh shit! A whole case of laser discs.
All right, let's get this education on.
And they're gonna be posting up to YouTube or whatever the hell the YouTube equivalent is in 20 years.
Oh, that reminds me. I went to the high school I went to when I lived in Texas. They had this tornado drill that they would do, and all the kids would we'd practice where to go for like tornado drills or whatever, and there was this humongous, like, I never even knew that the school had this, but there was this humongous basement. It was huge, and even with all these classes in this basement together, it was like huge. It felt like a fucking cave, like a humongous cave that you looked down. I'm like, this place is humongous. How is there so much room in this area? And there was a ton of like boxes and storage and stuff down there. That's where I saw a lot of the laser discs that they had down there. But they also had, I don't know if you either of you remember this old ass like thing that didn't last very long. It was called a CED player, and they had a bunch of CED cartridges like all lined up, and I'm like, good God, those are old.
Oh wow, I don't think I've ever heard of that.
CED is like it was basically like a giant cassette tape, but like it was still like a laser disc inside this giant case or whatever, but you like take this giant square block, stick it in, like press a button, and then you pull out the skeleton of what remained. It was weird. You'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
It was
Cool.
very odd. But yeah, I remember seeing those too. So that's another
It's funny you
relic
mentioned
from history.
that basement's also a fallout shelter.
What?
Yeah, it is.
I think I want to say, if I remember right, because we went to the same high school, just a couple of years apart. I want to say on the front when you walk in, there's a big sign that just says Fallout Shelter.
Were there like hidden metal doors?
I have no idea. I never saw it.
I think that's what one of the drills was. If like we had to go down into the Fallout Shelter to know where to go or whatever. But do you remember the basement? It was huge.
I never got in to go in there.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Dang, it was humongous. I went there. They made us go there one time when I was there.
I didn't think we did a tornado drill.
And I think it was because because of the Twin Towers deal that was going on whenever I was in school.
Yeah, that's about the time.
We
9/11.
We didn't have any basements or fallout shelters or anything in our high school. They'd just tell us to go outside and lay down and accept our fate.
We don't have room for you to die in here.
It's like, you kids are screwed. Let's go. It's like, we ain't going to tell you to huddle under your desk. Come on, let's go. Like, okay.
Yeah, I was in high school when the 9/11 thing happened. So once that happened, they were like, okay, we got to teach all these kids where to go for this, just in case something like this happens. Go down into this humongous, like, dank, wet basement with all these laser discs and CED players. At least you'll have entertainment.
Yeah.
Rotating projectiles if something ever happens, where they're just like razor thin.
Oh man.
Feel like it's like the Ripper from Unreal Tournament, man.
Oh yeah, just a random memory that I thought of. But anyway,
now that you mentioned, I want to go back to that school and be like, hey, can I go in the basement and just look for shit?
What the hell are you?
It's like, you're not gonna use any of this. Obviously, you're not gonna use this crate full of laser discs.
I mean, there was.
I want to get ahead on these hipsters.
They just like stuff a bunch of old shit that they don't need down there anymore.
Then it gets forgotten. That's where you find out the good stuff, man.
I'm sure all that Laserdisc stuff was back from whenever, like, my sister was in that school, like, and then they were like, well, this is out of date. We'll just put it down here, and then they just forget about it and they don't mess with it. I mean, there was a bunch of stuff down there. There was like old, like, do you remember Dare?
Yeah.
Dare to keep kids off drugs. That whole, they had a bunch of like T-shirts down there from Dare and like books stacked up of like the little animation things from that. There was a whole bunch of old shit down there.
Good old DARE, drug abuse
Yeah.
resistance education.
Yep.
I think that drove more people to drugs
Yeah,
than it actually
I want to say
prevented.
statistics say it actually was worse than just saying nothing.
I think the only best part about that is I saw McGruff come to our school.
Yeah, we had McGruff too.
Yeah, we had McGruff.
That guy is still going, by the way.
Really?
And he still has that same car.
I want to say there's different McGruffs.
No, it's one.
There's
well,
no
at least,
way.
yeah, no, it's one that's in the area for.
Oh, just an area.
Yeah, for the area that's like North Texas.
Yeah.
It's like one guy.
Oh,
That's what he does, or at least what he used to do.
Yeah.
Have the puppet McGruff and go around to all the schools and
Yeah,
talk to.
I was gonna say when I lived in Illinois, we had McGruff come up there and do his silent treatment thing.
Silent treatment.
Stand around while some cop tells us, "Don't do drugs; they're bad. People will offer you drugs." I've never had anyone just offer me drugs.
I don't think anybody.
They're gonna offer you, and they're gonna lure you in.
Yeah.
That has literally never happened. And I've been around a lot of people that done drugs, and they were not like, "Nah, dude, you can't have this." Not even a sample pack.
Oh man. All right, so that's gonna do it for what we've been playing. We kind of went off on a tangent there, but I think
It's been a while since we got off on a
I
tangent.
know it's so
My bad.
good. No, tangents are good.
Yeah.
Tangents are good.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move on to our news segment here. This time I didn't do news.
No news.
The news. Dun, 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 news.
Dun, 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 dun.
One day I'll come up with something for these things
Yeah.
for our transitions. I've
Yeah.
got nothing right now. Like I can't think of anything. All right. All right. Well, I've got a number of things. Michael, you were wanting to talk about Final Fantasy Dissidia for this segment, so
I do. I'll go ahead and start.
please enlighten us with Dissidia because I'm
Okay.
super interested.
All right, so Dissidia NT, Final Fantasy Dissidia NT beta was going on this week. And I made, it's not too long, but I made a list of the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh,
But before you get into that, let the people that know at home know what this city is about,
Don't worry, I will. I'll get there.
because some people don't know.
like TJ.
Okay, for
I'll play
those who
Dissidia.
don't know, there was a game called Final Fantasy Dissidia that was released on the Sony PlayStation Portable, the Sony PSP, and it's a fighting game, a 3D fighting game with all your protagonists and antagonists of Final Fantasy characters, ranging from Final Fantasy 1 to Final Fantasy like 11 back whenever the first Dissidia came out, and then the second one came out. It was from Final Fantasy 1 to Final Fantasy 13. Basically, you can play as the hero and the villain from Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up to 13. And you fight other characters, and there's awesome remixed music and awesome levels, and the game was really fun. I enjoyed the heck out of it. There was there was a multiplayer mode, like an online mode, I guess, but my PSP never worked online, so I always played the single player version, which was just as good in my opinion. I enjoyed it just as much. But that's what Final Fantasy Dissidia is. They released a new one on PlayStation 4. Or they will be releasing a new one on PlayStation 4 soon. There's a beta out right now. And I played it. I played the beta. So here we go. Let's start with the good.
Okay.
Okay. We'll start with the gameplay. Obviously, the gameplay is pretty fun. They changed a lot of things from the original Dissidia. There's a lot of... Okay, let me just try to get into the nitty-gritty here. In a nutshell, you dash around, you attack other characters until either player wins, obviously. Just like in the previous games, you have bravery attacks and HP attacks. You deal bravery attacks to increase this bravery counter that you have. And if somebody bravery attacks you, it lowers it. Once you get that counter up to a certain number, or you perform an HP attack, whatever that bravery number is how much HP damage you'll take off if you do the HP attack. So basically, the match can last forever if no one ever uses an HP attack. Basically, but okay, let's see. You get in this new one. I don't remember this. It's been a long time since I played the original Dissidia games, so I don't remember. But in this new one, you get steals like Poison Gun, a steal called Mighty Strikes, which increases your damage you deal, regen, heal, etc. In this game, there are like 3v3 battles that are crazy and intense because it's 3 heroes against 3 heroes, and you see Final Fantasy characters dashing around the map constantly and like swiping each other, hitting each other, and you'll see an enemy go whap right in front of you, and you're just like, damn, what's going on? There's so much shit going on screen at all time. And in this one, you also get to summon. I think you could do that in the previous ones, but this time the summon stays on the map for a limited time and like casts like Ifrit will cast Hellfire, or Bahamut will sit there and cast Mega Flare on the enemies if like you summon them. It's pretty cool. To get that, like a summon gem will appear like in the map randomly, and then you'll turn and you'll have to run over there and you'll have to like attack it as much as you can before the enemy does to increase your summon bar, because it's a race to the summon gem. Once it appears, everybody goes all at once, basically. But that's pretty much the gameplay in a nutshell, and it's a lot of fun for what I've played of it. The characters, just like in previous games, it's the main protagonist and antagonist from each Final Fantasy game. What's not to love about Titus? Yes, I said Titus, not Titus.
Titus is the proper pronunciation. Just
if we ask the developers, it's Titus.
No one cares. No one cares. What's not to love about playing Titus and watching him destroy the ever-living shit out of Seymour? I hate that character so much.
Yeah,
Seymour was
but what's not
weenie.
What's not to love about watching, that happen, or Cloud fighting against Sephiroth, or vice versa, because you can play a Sephiroth and fight against Cloud. The best part about this one is they included some extra bonus characters from other Final Fantasy games.
Oh, Riri.
Yes, Riri.
Riri.
Now, I don't know. I have not met a single fan of this Final Fantasy game. There's a Final Fantasy game called Final Fantasy Type 0. I never played it.
I have played it.
Did you like it?
It made me sick because, okay.
Good Lord.
All
That's
right.
a terrible, just into it.
Damn.
Okay, yeah, it made me sick, and it was legitimately, I got sick while playing it.
Okay.
The game, it wasn't the gameplay, it wasn't any of that. Everything about the Type 0 was just fine. Action and the weaponry and magic, all that. It felt like a Final Fantasy. You running around just as normal, except it's more linear.
Okay.
Per se. I should preface this by saying I didn't play the PSP version. I played the version that was remastered on the PS4. My issue was the camera was so squirrely, like it would whip around way too fast.
Okay.
When I would play, it made me motion sick. Way, way, way motion sick. So much so I actually had to sell the game back and get rid of it. I could not finish the game. The camera control was just so bad. It was just like what's that Jack Black game called that came out on Xbox?
Brutal Legend.
Brutal Legend, yes. See, I love playing Brutal Legend, but the camera was way too whippy.
Yeah.
And it made me motion sick.
Okay.
I just couldn't handle it, so I had to get rid of it. But no, I had no issue with Type 0.
I own it.
Okay.
On Xbox One, and it's still wrapped in plastic.
I
I have not broken it open.
Well, they included Ace from Final Fantasy Type 0. You can play as him.
Okay.
But here's the part that I enjoyed. They have another character that has made an appearance in this Final Fantasy NT beta, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta play as this character. They included Ramza Beowulf from Tactics.
Very cool.
No way.
Yes,
Oh,
Ramza is in
neat.
this game, and it is awesome. Hell yes.
Oh yeah.
I love Tactics. Final Fantasy Tactics is so good,
Love Tactics.
and including Ramza was a good decision, I think.
Never played it.
How have you not played Tactics?
I didn't have a PlayStation, remember?
That sucks.
Look, if it come out for the Switch, I will pick it up immediately.
Something real short. The music, What's Not to Love, original and rearranged versions of like multiple tracks from your favorite Final Fantasies while you fight. And what more is there to say
I mean,
about that?
Final Fantasy music is like really some of the best
scored
music.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. The levels. So far, I'm loving the level designs in this game. They feel a bit smaller than in previous games. Some of them do. But they are still detailed and look awesome. Each level has like varying things that happen while you're fighting. Like my favorite levels so far are, of course, Midgar is one of the levels. And the two modes that happen are like just normal Midgar when you're fighting, the dark, kind of green tintish, going on while you're fighting. But then in the middle of fighting, suddenly meteor is dropping down and there's like red tornadoes and it like everything turns into a red hue and you're fighting amidst all that.
Awesome.
And it looks awesome. So Midgar, Final Fantasy VIII, it's a huge desolate field, like cracked dirt, and it's like almost pure blackness, nothing but flat ground that you're fighting on. But then while you're fighting, a light beams down in the middle of the map, and it turns into the giant flower field.
Oh, it's from the cutscene.
And you can see Balam Garden flying in the background, and it's super cool.
It gave me chills just thinking about that cutscene. I love that game so much, dude.
I'm not lying. Michael. Your description is giving me chills too, man. I was sitting there, I was like running chills down. I was like, oh man, this sounds good.
It was super cool. Now, I did not see the second form of this level because I won it too quick. I won the battle too quick. But I played in the Final Fantasy IX level.
Mm-hmm.
It's the town of Alexandria in the little circle. It's in the little circle square, and you're sitting here fighting. It looks awesome. You can see the big crystal, Alexandria Tower off in the distance. And I think at some point, I don't know for sure, but I think I saw Prima Vista, flying across the screen. It was so cool. The level designs are great.
I have to buy a PlayStation 4 now.
I need to play Final Fantasy IX again now.
I'm hoping, just from what you're describing, I'm hoping it'll just be Alexander standing up.
Now, like I said, I didn't make it to the second part of that, so I don't know if it's like whenever the city's getting, destroyed or something or anything like that, like, and you can see like the summons standing up or Bahamut or anything like that. I don't know if there's anything like that. I don't know. I'll have to check it out.
I hope.
So, if you're watching this and you've played that in the beta and you know about it, put it in the comments. Tell us about it.
Please.
Tell us about that.
Spoil that shit. I want to know. That's really cool.
All right, we're going to move on to the bad.
Uh-oh.
In just a second.
Can we hang up on him?
I gotta go AFK. I gotta go AFK.
Okay. All right, guys, hold on. We'll be right back after this short break. And we're back, guys.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hooray. All right, Michael, you said you were fixing to move on to the bad.
On to the bad. Okay. I don't know if this was a beta thing or if it's going to transfer into the real game. I hope it doesn't. I'm sure it's just a beta thing, but I feel it has to be mentioned. Though there are a lot of characters to choose from, Right now in the beta, they only have a certain roster of characters available to play through certain dates. Like from, this day to this day, you can only play as like Cloud, Squall, Zidane, etc. But then, this date to this date, you have to play Sephiroth, Kuja, Seymour, etc. And you can't select Zidane, Cloud during those dates, or whatever, So there's no way to change it. You have to select from that roster. I'm hoping they let you select whoever you want in the final release, but in the beta, it was kind of annoying not being able to practice a certain character that you wanted.
That sounds like a beta thing to do.
That's what I was saying, thinking. It sounds like a beta thing to do, but I felt it had to be mentioned.
Yeah, I could only throw out that perhaps they're trying to maybe check balance on characters.
Probably just forcing people to test, because a lot of people are going to only want to play Cloud, and then they only play Cloud. It's making people play these probably less used characters.
I really hope so, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, so that I felt had to be mentioned. Right now, the changes that they made to the game, like a lot of the gameplay changes that I was talking about, are a bit tough to get used to for fans of the previous titles. I'm used to the way the old mechanics worked in the PSP versions, and the new game is a bit more advanced, so it's taken me, at least, some time to unlearn what I knew from the old games and relearn the new stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're brand new to the game, good for you, because it'll probably be easier to learn. But like for me, I'm used to a certain way the buttons work.
Yeah.
And this one is like, what?
Yeah.
For me. So that's something I would consider bad for, fans of the previous titles. And by far the worst final thing that I have to mention about bad is, I don't know if it's going to be included in the final release of the game, or I hope there's an option to turn it off, because, oh my god. In the beginning of the game, when the Dissidia beta starts up, it tells you to type in your name and select a gem, a random gem, which becomes your summon, for the game. A Moogle shows up and is like, type in your name, Kupo, and it's all voiced. Type in your name, Kupo, blah 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 blah, Kupo. There's this fucking annoying ass Moogle in the game. And remember my previous statement, how it's been difficult for me to try and learn to play the game, and I'm having to remember, oh yeah, I got to use these skills down here, and I got to do this and this. In game, in battle, while you're fighting other players, or while you're doing the single player gauntlet mode that they have, this annoying ass fucking Moogle is constantly, non-stop shouting at you. Don't forget your skills, Kupo. Defeat the enemy, Kupo. Remember to dodge, Kupo. Use your skills, Kupo. Constant.
No.
Non-stop.
Shove your Kupo up your ass.
And I hope that they allow you to turn that off, because it is so goddamn annoying.
It's like fucking Microsoft Clippy.
I swear to God, it's never ending. There's a gem, Kupo. Defeat the enemy, Kupo. Like if you get enough bravery points to do an HP attack that will knock him out, that fucking Moogle will pop up over your audio and be like, defeat the enemy, Kupo. It's like, I fucking know. Shut up. Damn.
No.
That's some aggressive ass hand holding.
Oh my god. This has gotta be, hopefully this is just gotta be testing the assist system in the game for new players.
I almost want to go, I think it's still going on the beta. I don't know if it is.
Yeah.
I almost want today to go record a single match, and let you hear how bad it is.
Oh.
Like, you may think, oh, he may just, whatever. No, it's fucking bad.
Yeah.
It's awful right now. Of course, to be fair, I haven't looked to see if there was an option to turn it off yet.
I'd have been like the first thing. I'd be like, whoa, you got to stop.
Because I play I played it, and then I wrote down some stuff, and I played some more, and I just kept on kind of forgetting about it. But then it was hard to not forget about it when it's right there, constantly saying, "Remember to dodge, Kupo. Use your skills, Kupo." Every single time, Kupo, shut the fuck up, Kupo. Damn. Anyway,
I was never a fan of the Moogles in the Final Fantasy.
I liked them.
Oh, I hated them.
I am. I was okay with the Moogles in Final Fantasy IX. I was okay with them because they weren't
Intrusive.
annoying and intrusive.
Yeah.
Especially Stiltspin. He was awesome.
Weren't the Mambas part of Final Fantasy?
Moombas were
Moombas.
Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were in Final Fantasy VIII only until Final Fantasy X came out, when there was just a Moogle, or not Moogle, Moomba, plushie that Lulu could have. Anyway, that's the bad. Let's move on to the ugly.
How could it get worse than Moogle?
I just have one word for you.
Mm-hmm.
This is the part I was waiting. I can't wait to see your reaction. I have one word.
Oh yeah.
The ugly. Ready?
I'm ready.
Loot boxes.
No! You've got to be shitting me!
Yes.
No!
I fought in a couple of games and earned treasure in the game, quote unquote treasure.
Oh God!
And when you go to the menu and open up to claim your treasure, it does the whole loot box opening thing. You click, it's like treasure 1, and it's like open, boom, and it does the whole whee, and then 3 things go bloop, 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 and then you have to select each one to reveal what it is.
Oh God, they make
And
sure
it gives
to
you
hit all the
3
checkpoints.
And it gives you 3 random treasures that it can include skins for your characters, player icons, new music to unlock for listening, for your listening pleasure while you fight, etc.
Okay.
Now in the beta, there's treasures that you can unlock by playing the game, and you earn treasures just by playing. But in the treasure section, there's an option that's grayed out right now because it's in beta. It says this is not available in the beta, but the grayed out option is shop.
No.
Yay.
Have they made any mention that this is all cosmetic stuff, or are they going to add pay to win shit in this?
Well, I mean,
It doesn't seem like there's pay to. From my experience, it doesn't look like there's any pay to win stuff. It's all cosmetic or music stuff in the game. It the characters can have skins and add-ons, things that you can dress them up with. It doesn't add any as far as I know, it doesn't add any skill advantage or anything like that.
Okay, I mean, I can live with the add-on for costumes and shit, but locking music behind?
Yeah, there's you have to unlock certain tracks. I unlocked one of the tracks that I unlocked in that treasure was Anxious Battle from Final Fantasy Tactics.
Why lock music?
well, I think it's not so much locking the music as it's giving you something to unlock. Like you can just go in the menus because a lot of the Final Fantasy games you can just go listen to music.
I know, but
Yeah.
But it's giving you something to work for because they're probably gonna have where all the characters are already unlocked in the main game. So back when you'd buy a fighting game, you would have half the roster locked, and you have to go through single player and beat all that.
yeah.
Just start unlocking people. Maybe
I'm okay with an unlocking mechanism in the game, like having to play a certain part of the story mode to unlock this and this and this and some music for this or whatever. But why put it in a loot box form?
Yeah.
Why?
I think it's just because it's popular.
I mean, you'd think Squaresoft would look at what happened with EA and be like, "Oh, let's mark this shit out. I don't need that anymore." No, it's in there, and at first I was like, "It's here, do your treasure," because the old Dissidias had the same thing. You can unlock, certain things like player icons, and you can unlock music in the game. But in this game, I was like, "Oh, they have this unlocking feature again." But when I went to it and I saw there was a shop feature, I was like, "Oh no!" what does that shop feature mean? And I was like, let's just unlock the treasure that I got. Treasure, boom. It's like, here's one treasure box you got. Okay, click, and it goes, bring, bring, bring. And I was like, no. And I clicked one, and it goes, ring, and it's like, common unlock. I'm like, oh no.
So I'm kind of okay with this because it's using like the Overwatch method. But at the same, like I understand because like let's take Rocket League for example. If you don't count in the championship crates and shit, every time you play a match, boom, you unlock something. Either it's a topper or a flag or a new paint style or any of that, and that's fine. And that sounds about what Dissidia for the PSP was like. Like you just play a match and boom, here's a random ass whatever. Yeah. And I think they're still doing the same thing, except now they're using the very popular loot box thing.
Not popular.
It's extremely it's not popular to us, but it sells.
It's not popular to people. It's popular to developers.
If it wasn't popular to people, game companies still wouldn't be using it.
Have you read the backlash about this shit lately?
So, yeah, well, with EA because they did it wrong, but with a lot of companies, like everyone like, what about Overwatch? And everybody's like, Overwatch is doing it fine. It's all cosmetic, nothing game changing. It's just that. And I think the city is doing the same thing. They're going to have cosmetic loot boxes that you can buy.
Right.
50 pack.
I have no issue with the cosmetics personally. Mm-hmm. I have issue with them locking music tracks in the fucking boxes.
In the random chance.
Yes, well, random chance.
Yeah. If you take away the box in every match you get one thing instead of a box of 3 things. You're still locking the music behind random chance. It's just now you have a 33% less chance of getting.
But still, there's certain things in a game I don't want locked behind a random chance to get. Music is one of them.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the game is loaded with music.
If you want to put Seymour in a bikini costume in the game, fine. I'll live with that, and people will go out of their way to try to buy. I've broken him, by the way. I will live with that. And
I will not. I will not.
People will go and pay money to try to get those costumes, 100%. But music, I feel, is one of those things that you don't do that to.
Well, yeah.
Because it's so integral into the game.
Well, not really.
Oh, bullshit if music isn't.
No, I'm not saying...
Hold on. In each match, when you play, it was the same with the old Dissidias. Whenever the match screen comes up, it gives you the option of which music track you want to play.
It's not integral. It's just like...
Yes, it is.
How is it not?
It's not game-changing. It's just like, I like this song. I don't like that song.
But, okay, when you play a game, all right?
Okay.
And you get into an instance in a game where it's high-pumping action. Okay.
Yeah, and they select the music. I'm saying
they're not selecting the music. You get to choose.
I know that, but I mean, if they just played, here's a random song for this fight scene, that would be fine to me. I mean, it's still just music being played.
Yeah, but what if your only options at that time are lullabies and love songs that you've only managed to unlock in the freaking loot boxes? So.
Well, I like I said, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have like here's this base collection of songs, and then we have these really cool songs like here's Man with a Machine Gun, or here's whatever the one you said from Tactics, I forgot now. But I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it as long as it's not like here's default music where you go into a battle and it's just like don't. It's like there's gonna be bass music to the game. There's gonna be already unlocked music.
I don't know.
I'm okay with it because to me it's rewarding to me because I was like, oh fuck yeah, I love this song. Boom, add that in. But if I already have it, I don't feel like there's anything that it's something to work for. It gives you pride and accomplishment.
Agree to disagree.
Yes,
I will agree to disagree on that instance.
Moogle advice: on off.
Oh, thank God.
There is an option to turn it off.
Dissidia devs, if you're listening right now, and I know you are, go ahead and add a slider to that. Like, you don't have to turn it off, but a lot of new people like, oh, I kind of want advice. Just bring it down a little bit. It's like...
I love that it says in the option itself, it says, toggle timely tips from the Merry Moogle on or off.
Off.
They are not timely. They are constant.
Maybe it's because the action is constant. He's like, I have all these things to tell you.
It's like, shit, there's too much going on.
I have never turned off an option faster than I just did. You can guess what I'm playing.
Hell, you playing some Dissidia right now, man.
So yeah, I'm okay with that. Unlocking music.
Agree to disagree. I think music shouldn't be locked behind. So
Yeah.
people voice your opinions. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep this argument going, even though you tried to stop it.
Why?
Because okay, you ever play Theater Rhythm?
You're not no, I haven't. You're not going to change my mind.
I'm just saying, you played Theater Rhythm, where the whole game is music.
Yes.
You have to unlock all that music.
Yes, that's the damn point of the game.
No, the point of the game is just to play the game.
No, the point of
music
the
is
game.
integral.
In Theater Rhythm, the point of the game is fucking rhythm-based game. You earn more music to do more levels to play that music.
Yeah.
This game is about fucking shit up as a Final Fantasy 7,
music
8,
is a
9,
reward.
10 character.
The music is a reward.
Reward.
Okay, moving on.
Exactly.
What else you got, Michael?
That's it for my little Dissidia review rant. I told you about some good things, some bad things, and the ugly thing.
Yeah, fucking loot boxes.
But as a whole, I am loving Dissidia NT. It is so much fun, and I cannot wait to play the single player mode, because that's what I'm looking forward to. I've always loved the single player modes of these games, and I cannot wait to play the full version of this.
Say, in all honesty, everything that you were saying for the good outweighs like everything in the bad by tenfold right now.
You would know it's funny.
Yeah.
In high school, I wrote this story of Dissidia.
You wrote the Dissidia story?
Yes.
What?
Yes. So, like, I'd wanted to get into writing, and I was really big into Final Fantasy. And I had a notebook, and I'd found it not too long ago. I don't have it anymore. But I had wrote... Are we pausing?
No.
Okay.
Keep going.
I had wrote a story of all these main characters from all the Final Fantasy series coming together. Like, they all got pulled into this world. And so did, like, all the villains from all the other games that got pulled in. So you had, like, Squall, Cloud, Tifa, Zidane, all them basically partying up, and it's going to be a Final Fantasy adventure against all the bad guys from all the games that had come out by then. And then, like, years later, it's like Dissidia, and I'm like, what is that? And it's a fighting game with all the Final Fantasy characters. I was like, are you fucking with me?
My fan fiction came true?
It was fun.
You could fangirl it.
I did. I fangirled a little bit. It was like, I thought it was close to 100 pages.
What?
Yeah.
100 pages of fanfic?
Yeah.
Good lord.
I just had this notebook, and like I would sit in class, and I didn't pay attention in class. And
Obviously.
I would just be writing in this thing. It was good. I didn't know how to write a book at the time. I still don't, but I wrote it in like a script. So it was like character line, thing that happens, character line.
Zidane, and they kissed with tongues, and it was cool.
And it was cool. Betty is a gay lesbian.
Ooh, there's an old inside joke right there. God damn, Michael.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Bring that back up for Apple fucking 2C stuff. Oh, wait, no, that was Willow Talk. I'm sorry. Yeah, that wasn't Cricket. That was Willow Talk. God. I know that was before your time. That's like I said, this old
Yeah.
shit. This is like,
Basically Microsoft Sam stuff.
yeah. God, I can't remember. How did you remind me of Willow Talk? Holy shit. The application hasn't been around in forever. It was all terrible, too. We had whole conversations that were made up inside of a goddamn... Because, okay, the way Willow Talk worked... I'm going to go off on a tangent.
Go for it.
The way Willow Talk worked is you could set up different voices and give them lines, and then it would sit there and read each line. So you have a male voice and a female voice, and to have conversation throughout the whole damn application.
That's cool.
And then you just press play, and it would read everything back. And that happened to be one of the lines that we had written as being stupid little 8 to 10-year-old kids.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh my god!
It was new back then, being able to type something and have them say it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, before that, the only thing that we had experience was an Apple IIc called a Cricket, and there was a little box that you had to plug into the Apple IIc. It was, I think it was what was it? I'm trying to think of what the connection was. Cricket wasn't parallel. It was one of those smaller, almost like a monitor cable. I can't remember. I want to say it's RS 232 or something like that you'd plug in, and then it would actually synthesize the sound at the box, but whatever you typed into the computer. And we spent hours just making Cricket talk just because we were stupid.
You know that's definitely a thing, and I can believe that, because when you get a TeamSpeak or something and everyone figures out that there's text to speak, and you just hear eggs, 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 eggs. You're like, sweet Jesus. My Rufflecopter goes, lol.
Oh. So there's your little inside history into some of our past. We were stupid when we were younger.
That's fun.
All
Fun
right.
stuff.
Well, Michael, thank you for the Dissidia information. I wish I would have played the damn beta now. That's for sure.
By the way, while you were having that conversation about Cricket, I played Alexandria, and it does turn nighttime, and you can see Alexander
Nice.
with his wings in the background, and it looks sick.
Oh, God, yes.
I called it.
I want to see
It looks so good.
bad.
I'm telling you, it's the most impressive moment for Final Fantasy IX. When you first summon Alexander, you're just like, holy shit, he was the castle the whole time.
It looks sick. But real quick, side note, back to the Cricket thing. Because we were kids, who hasn't done this? We were like, I wonder if it could say a cuss word.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. So we would make him say stupid shit all the time. And the Cricket thing always made me laugh, because it makes me laugh to this day, because whenever we would make him say, we would type, you are a bitch, or something like that. We would make him say, let's see if he says, you are a bitch. Every time he would say a cuss word, every cuss word it said was like really quick. It would be like, you are a bitch. You remember that?
Yeah.
It was always like that.
Just trying to sneak it in.
I don't give a fuck. And I don't know. That's just something that I was reminded of, because that was a hilarious program. It was just a little robot on an Apple IIc. It was hilarious.
God, I
Very
wonder if I could find an Apple IIc in a Cricket.
Probably not.
Oh,
But,
God. I would love that.
But it was my pleasure. I'm glad I was able to talk about the city a little bit. Oh, something else that I was reminded of while I was playing this. While you're fighting, there's actually a little bit of battle damage. Like, you're at the end of a match, your character will be scuffed up and like some scrapes on his face and stuff, and it actually is battle damage from you taking damage from other characters in the battle and stuff.
Dude.
And then it'll have a victory screen where your character will walk up and like hold his sword looking all cool, but he'll have like some like scars and stuff. Like, he's like, it's like, that was a tough battle, but guess what? I won, bitch. It looks really cool.
Very cool.
And then of course there's an option like, TJ, how in Rocket League you can press, left up or right left on your D-pad, and it'll say good game or calculated or okay or something. My favorite thing to do is, like, I played as Sephiroth for a little bit, and I was playing online, and people will be like, good game, nice playing with you, can't wait to see you next time. And Sephiroth has an option that just says no. and the character, like, they have the voice lines. So Sephiroth just goes, no. And it's my favorite thing to do in any game I join in. Even before anybody says anything, I'll join in and like, Sephiroth will go, swing. No. It's hilarious. But yeah, this game is awesome. I just played Alexandria. Oh my God. The levels that makes it even more fun to play. It's just like seeing what happens in your surroundings while you're fighting. Oh, 10, by the way. Final Fantasy 10 has Besaid Island,
Oh,
but
nice.
I don't know what happens because I haven't played it yet.
neat.
So-
How do you unlock Sora? I need that Keyblade.
But yeah, it is still going on right now. And Ramza is playable.
Oh, nice.
Neat.
Yes.
Very cool.
So I'm enjoying myself doing this. But now I will leave the news up to you guys.
All right.
Do you want to go or?
TJ, go ahead and hit what you
Okay.
got.
Well, I got a lot of little things. PUBG is currently banned. Over 1.5 million players.
Yay, cheaters.
Yeah.
They're all from China.
Finally.
Yeah, and they are still banning people. I want to say the last thing I saw was 1.6. But people are also being arrested in China.
For cheating?
Yeah, Tencent,
Wow.
who is one of the, I guess, the publisher in China, is working with police, and they've arrested like a lot of people.
Damn.
We're talking prison time. Like I want to say one couple got 9 years.
Damn.
Yeah. For making and selling hacks.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how true this is. Article I read, it's not like a big magazine article, but like a lot of people, I want to say it was like 60 arrests so far, or maybe 30.
If it's China, I could see that
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think like this is a company and they got huge growth, so they want to they want to expand in China and set a footprint. But then you have these hackers and they're coming in and they're making it where new players are just like hitting a wall. Because like if I go into a game and I play and I'm immediately killed by a hacker, I'm like, why would I even play this? I'm not gonna stay. So I think that's why Bluehole and Tencent are working with police to help, because that's a huge issue for this game. I mean, 1.6, that's 6%. 6% of the player base has already been banned.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All hackers.
Yeah. Oh,
Doesn't hurt
man.
my feelings.
No, not at all. I killed one hacker, which felt great. Yeah. Never saw me. Actually, he did. He shot at Michael. I think he downed Michael and then he ran away. And I picked him up and then I saw him laying I was like, that
Yeah, that happened.
was a good time. All right. So, a couple other things. Metal Gear Survive beta is live on PS4.
Fuck that game.
Well, it looks so good.
No.
Why?
Remove Metal Gear and fine.
Yeah, it's not a Metal Gear game. There's no. Yeah, it's not a Metal Gear game.
Yeah, it's not a Metal Gear game. Exactly.
But it looks really good. Like just I watched some gameplay of it, and just looking at it looks really good. If you're into survival, zombie mode, I think people would like it. It's got crafting to it, some exploring.
That's what the world needs, another fucking zombie survival game.
They're not zombies. I don't know what the fuck they are. They're fucking creepy.
Whatever.
They look like, I don't know what they are, but anyways, they're basically zombies. But I mean, the game looks good. The gameplay looks good. If you don't think it is Metal Gear, they could have called it something else.
They should have called it something else because
Yeah.
it has absolutely nothing to do with Metal Gear.
Yeah.
There's nothing even remotely close to it with Metal Gear. They're
Yeah.
just using the name to promote it.
Yeah. Shit. There's stuff about it. No. Oh yeah. Microtransactions.
Oh,
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah. Zombie defense with microtransactions.
Fucking trying to bleed
Fun
money
stuff.
out of people. Screw Konami.
Yeah. Yeah. Ever since they lost or got rid of Kojima, Metal Gear's gone
Fuck them.
in the garbage. Hyrule Warriors. I saw the trailer for it. Looks so good. Coming to Switch. Getting 2 characters, like all the stuff from the 3DS is all coming over to the Switch, plus 2 new characters, Yuga and Ravia from Link Between Worlds, and a lot of new stuff like Breath of the Wild costumes. That'd be really cool, and it looks really, really good. I'm excited for that.
Hyrule Warriors was fun.
Yeah,
It is. I'm excited for that.
definitely. Actually, we talked about that last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't mention new characters though.
Nope.
I brought new news.
New news.
Thank God. If you're into Final Fantasy 14,
Not as much anymore.
Kefka got teased.
I saw that they're gonna add
Yeah.
him as a villain into
Yeah,
the
they got a
series
whole
now.
bunch of new stuff. The Rise of the New Sun expansion Lots of new side quests, mounts. You can build a submersible so you can go underwater, find some underwater treasure, do some pirating, and
Play the torpedo minigame from Final Fantasy.
There's also a hard version of the Fractal Continuum, which if you play Final Fantasy 14, you will know what that is.
Yeah, I have no idea. I got to the first where the dungeon raid that you had to do, and then you actually had to work with additional people to do it. And I said, well, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be with other people unless they're people I know.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to solo.
Yeah.
That was my gate. I stopped there, and I was like, I'm done with this game.
All right, and for me, pretty much the only interesting thing that I saw from me was Call of Duty getting new DLC. It'll be Resistance, like the French Resistance. It's gonna be based on that. There's gonna be 3 new maps, 3 new multiplayer maps, a new war mode. Before I go into the new war mode, the 3 new maps are all based on actual things that happened during World War II. Like there's one that's based on Hitler's, I think it's the Wolf Den. There was one based, what was it called? Anthropoid, I think that's what it's called. And it's based on an assassination on 2 Nazi officers in Paris. And then there's another one which I didn't read on because I ran out of time and I was in a hurry. But it's also based on something that happened in World War II. So all those new maps are based on actual events, which is really cool. The new war mode is called Operation Intercept. And it's you intercepting a train. You're getting on a train, rescuing resistance fighters, and destroying communication equipment on the train, and then stopping the train.
Ah.
Okay. We don't need him. Or should we?
Was this your last story?
No. I mean, this one, I finished this real quick.
Yeah.
I'll take a break. So it's a whole new war mode, and like the war modes that they have, like there's some where you have to stop the advanced tanks, so you have to like escort these tanks onto the other side, and you hit checkpoints and just keep moving, and the opposition has to stop you. So it's basically the same as that. You're going to be the resistance, while the other team will be the Nazis holding the train. So they'll be trying to stop your advancement through the train. And that's a new zombie map. I know you're excited about new zombies.
New zombies?
Yeah, because they have Nazi zombies.
Oh, zombies mode in Call of Duty.
I don't care. I mean, I looked at it. It's a foggy map.
Ooh,
Yeah, zombies in the
scary.
fog. But they added a new division, which is basically a new class, and it's a resistance class. So you get it comes with a new pistol, a new knife skill, and a new ability which lets you scramble the enemies. Stop falling. Scramble the enemies' maps. So basically, you're messing with their maps. Really, that's it. PS4 release is January 30th, and no PC date yet.
Not surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. But we'll be right back.
We'll be back after this short break. And we're back, guys.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, after that short break, TJ, you just finished up your what you saw in the news this week that's really interesting to you. So this week in news for me, what I saw was, this is more rumor based, but there's a new Fable game in development.
Ooh, I think I heard about that.
It's made by the folks who are making the Horizon. God,
Forza Horizon.
Forza Horizon. I'm mashing shit together.
Yeah.
What they've done is there's another little studio. It's like they've been, they go off and on between Horizons, between the two studios for that. One of them is taking over a project to create a new Fable game.
I remember this because they had hinted about it like a couple months ago. I remember reading this, like, we're going to be working on an RPG. It's like, hold on a minute. They're talking about they're creating a new open world thing. It's going to be an RPG. It's not Cars. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. What will they do?
Fable.
Apparently Fable. That's awesome.
Shit is so good. I tell you what, I loved Fable.
Mm-hmm.
I played the Xbox version. What I liked Fable 2 the best.
Yeah.
I never really played Fable 3,
I
but
did.
from the discussion that I had with my brother about Fable 3, it wasn't as good as 2.
Mm-hmm.
Fable 2 was the shit.
Fable 2 was great.
God, I can't believe how good that game
Is that the one with the lost chapters or the first one?
No, Fable 1 was Lost Chapters.
Right, yeah.
Fable 2, Microsoft, please port Fable 2 to the PC, please.
No shit about that, man.
Yeah.
Fable 2 is only on the 360 right now, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I agree. That is my favorite one, is Fable 2. Fable 3 wasn't bad. It was, it was Fable. It was fun.
Yeah.
But it just didn't have the same feeling as Fable 1 and 2
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
But I loved Fable 2. And I want it to be ported to PC. Like, it's still on 360, damn it.
There's so much you could do in that game when you played it. And there were so many STDs.
There was.
There was. You could take a wife. You could have a house. You could have a kid. If your wife was clean from STDs and you come back from a long time being away and suddenly she had STDs because you suddenly got an STD, you're like, what? That was a thing that happened.
Unacceptable.
It was so weird. You could do like little dances out in the middle of the street and make everybody happy. You could slap the shit out of somebody in the street, and then there's like a group of people who are like, "Hey, I like this."
Yeah, that cracked me up because I would just be evil, and like some people are like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Why are you people into this?"
It was a hilarious game.
Yeah,
I think
it was.
it was so good. And like, they even made Fable Anniversary, which is a remastered version of Fable 1.
Yeah.
I hope they do the same thing for Fable 2.
It'd be so nice
Because it deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things to do in Fable 2 was to try and open those doors.
Oh yeah,
Those talking doors.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing to do, because some of them you couldn't. If you went like fully good or fully bad, you had to be fully good or fully bad to open some of them.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite ones was like this. It was like, it actually made the game really creepy. I don't know if you remember which one I'm talking about, Daniel. It was the one where it was like it was a snowy world. You entered it and suddenly it was all snowy, and it was like very, cozily lit. And you're walking up to a house, and it's like, oh, this is so pretty. And you walk up, and then suddenly, as you're in the house, it goes whoosh and flashes, and it's just a dead, rotten house, and all those cozily lit lamps are actually like cages with skeletons in them. And it was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I loved this place.
If I may be getting some wires mixed, but on some of those doors, didn't you have to bring sacrifices to the doors to get in?
It's been a long time since I played.
I want to say one of the freaking doors required a human sacrifice, that you had to bring the human to the door for it to open.
I want to say yeah.
I think it was one that was out in the middle of the field, so I brought my wife in the game. It's like, follow me. Open the door.
That's Fable 2 was the one that introduced the dog.
Yes. Oh,
right. Okay.
Man.
You could have the dog dig for you and find items. I had the dog do that. The very first item I got. Imagine my surprise when I was playing the game, and the very first item that my dog dug up was a condom.
Was it used?
I don't know. Maybe. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay, well, I would say the dog was so... I loved the dog, and in one instance in the game, my dog died.
Sad.
I was busted up over it. I was like, oh. So I actually went out and I bought the DLC, so you could... maybe this is where I was getting my wires crossed with that door. But the dog died. So to bring back the pet, they created DLC It was some sort of winter town. You could go there, and then you could offer. I think you could offer something up to get your animal to come back. Maybe that's where I was getting my wires crossed.
Offered up your wife. To
Offer
get
up
your dog
my,
back.
offer up my wife.
It was either I either offered up my wife to get the dog back or to open a door. It was one of those two things. It's just all I know
You
is
know
that
those,
happened.
that feels like a really messed up trade. I want
That's
in here.
awesome.
Here's my wife.
I think it may have been for the dog, but nonetheless, I was like, that dog is a good dog. I want that dog back. But yeah, that's what's going on. I do hope that this new Fable that's coming is going to be a return to Fable 2.
I hope so too.
That was literally one of my
It's
favorites.
gonna be Skyrim with Fable.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I'd really be okay with that.
Or it's gonna be Forza Horizons.
Who
without
needs
cars.
All right, moving on. Sega is publishing a game from 2 Point Studios called 2 Point Hospital. 2 Point Hospital.
Go ahead.
2 Point Hospital is the spiritual successor to Sim Hospital.
Oh wow.
Okay, I
Or
heard
Theme
about
Hospital.
this.
I'm sorry, Theme
Yeah,
Hospital.
I heard about this, and I'm actually kind of excited for it because I loved that game.
Me too. When I saw the article about it, and I was heard it. They talked about it on the Giant Bombcast. I was like, "Oh, Theme Hospital!" That was such a fun game. It really was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 1997, I think. PlayStation 1 era.
Yeah.
Great game. Good sim game.
Very cool.
There's not a whole lot to say about it right now. They're still working on it. So, it was 1997. Go me. So I will eagerly await. They've ramped up the graphics just like you would expect them to. So
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Very cool. I love sim games.
All right. This one's a little bit off the wall, but hackers are saying they're close to cracking the Switch now.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's going to be like base level crack, where it doesn't matter what Nintendo does, they've got it.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of impressive considering, I mean, I'm talking about Nintendo's security, because
Yeah.
there was a video out there that were showing them talking about all the different levels of security that Nintendo has put in between like core operations versus the level of the game.
Yeah.
And the stuff that they're doing right now, considering it's almost been a year now,
Mhm.
and they're just now finally kind of getting close. Wow.
Yeah.
Nintendo's got some lockdown on their shit, man.
I think it's cool. I probably won't. I used to have a homebrew PSP. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a homebrew
Yeah.
PSP. And I think homebrew 3DS too.
Wow.
No, it wasn't a 3DS.
There were ways to do it. But
Yeah.
I had the for the 3DS, not the 3DS, just the DS.
That's right. Yeah, the
Um,
DS.
I had the cartridge that you could put in, and
Yeah,
Played.
I remember that cartridge.
Yeah.
yeah. I also had the homebrew PSP.
The homebrew PSP was probably one of the big things. And like I really like every time I had my hands on the homebrew PSP, because I had one as well,
Yeah.
all I really did were play PS1 games.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah,
That's the
same with
only
me.
reason why I
That's
did it. It's the only reason why I went with homebrew on PSP, so I could play Final Fantasy VII on the go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome to me.
Yeah, it's
Back then.
all these games that you own that you couldn't play on your PlayStation because well, you got to go somewhere. It's like, well, hell, if I rip an ISO from the disc and throw it on my homebrewed PSP, well, shit, now I can play my game
Yeah.
on my PSP.
Yeah.
So
Exactly, and that's what I loved about that. I remember playing Mega Man Legends and
yeah,
the Final Fantasy games and just a bunch of different like classics on the go, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
Thought it was awesome.
so So they're getting close to the Switch now. Which
Yeah, when I first saw that the Switch was going to be cartridge based, again, I remember saying when I first saw the very first preview trailer for the Switch, I said to myself that's going to be hacked to shit. I remember thinking that. I'm like, they're gonna that system is going to be hacked to shit and homebrewed the hell out of.
It has taken them forever to do it, but it is close. So I will be interested to see where homebrew people take this, because some of the stuff that they do is super interesting, and then of course some of the stuff a lot of stuff they do is just flat out illegal. But interesting stuff is what really gets me. So tabled for a later date to see when they bring that about. Now, here's the one thing that I really, really wanted to talk about in this segment right now. What I feel was probably supposed to be announced with the Nintendo Direct that they put out, the little 15-minute Nintendo Direct. Nintendo teased and then released information for the Nintendo Labo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Fucking cardboard accessories for your Nintendo Switch.
It looks really, really cool.
Now, I watched their trailer on this because I wanted to know. I was like, and I still don't know some of this, is how the hell they're doing some of this.
Yeah.
Now, like on the little robot thing that walks, I understand it's straight up vibration because they're HD rumble that they have in the Switch. But some of the things like the goddamn 13-key piano?
Yeah, what the hell is going on there?
How the hell are they doing that?
Yeah.
It's like one freaking Joy-Con stuck in the back, and it's like you see a person just push a key and it starts playing music. I was like, what?
Yeah, here's the thing I'm thinking of. Like, I believe they can do that. You know, if you get two Joy-Cons in there, you know, you can have mechanisms touching buttons and stuff. This is papercraft. Who the hell is going to be setting up a cardboard piano that you can actually play? That's going to be hitting these buttons with reliability.
Well, see, that's the thing, is I don't even think that those are touching the buttons.
It has to.
No, I'm serious. It's like some of the pictures that I'm looking at right here.
Yeah.
Pardon me, I'm sorry.
It looks like it just slides in the back and it's just kind of hanging out there.
It looks like they're using the RFID on the freaking controller on some of this stuff.
Oh, that would be cool.
I'm just sitting there going, is it that sensitive to where they can just measure what freaking key is being moved?
I'm wondering if, you know, because you slide those in, I wonder if they have like where you slide it in and it like connects.
To what? It's cardboard.
I know, but it could just have little bitty thingies in there. Man, we're talking.
There's not. It's literally cardboard.
There is some kind of black magic happening in that cardboard box.
Well, whatever's happening in there. When I first saw the trailer, I thought, this is dumb. But then, like, as it went on, I was like, okay, I'm getting it. Like, it looks fun. It looks cool, especially for kids nowadays that like to have like a little extra side project to put this shit together, you know? That's cool, especially like the robot thing.
Yeah, no
shit.
I was like, this looks pretty cool, you know?
I was gonna say, did you see in the little video that they had taken the back section off of the backpack for the robot, and then a person who was moving, there's rubber bands that are in that backpack, and there's like little levers that moving up and down in the backpack.
That's crazy.
It is nuts.
Yeah.
How much are these kids gonna cost though?
$80.
Boy.
And I think that's mostly for the game.
Oh yeah.
And then the cardboard pieces come with it.
Okay, that makes sense. But still,
I know it's $80 is pretty steep for cardboard.
Here's the thing, man. I don't have room for all these cardboard contraptions.
That's true too.
I'm gonna have to build a whole new shelf. And be like, what's that? I'm gonna have like a gun cabinet. That's a cardboard fishing pole, and there's a cardboard piano and a cardboard.
It's your Nintendo Labo compartment. Cabinet. Nintendo Labo cabinet.
It's my laboratory.
Laboratory. Boo.
That was hard to get out.
Laboratory. Yeah. No, the game looks good. I've heard a lot of I've heard kind of mixed reviews. There's mostly backlash from people being like, this looks stupid, it's cardboard. What are you gonna do with cardboard, and this is dumb? And I'm like, you do know it comes with a game.
Yeah.
that like is compatible with all this shit that you're doing.
Here's the thing.
Like,
I think these people are like, they have no imagination. So like when I see these, I'm like, that would have been so fucking cool when I was like, 10 or 8 or in that target age range. I'm like, that would be so badass.
Yeah.
That and it's a little like papercraft. A lot of people are into papercraft. This is basically like heavy duty papercraft.
it is very heavy duty papercraft. I've learned never to just judge by a cover because Daniel will remember GameCube era. I thought this game was going to be awful. I was like, this is the dumbest looking shit. I'm never getting this game. Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
And then my buddy Marcus was like, you should try Animal Crossing. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, what? Like, you're playing that childish kitty looking crap game? And I played it and I'm like, oh my God, this game is amazing.
I see the light.
No,
I've seen the light.
Yeah.
Never judge by cover, you know?
When it comes to Nintendo, like a lot of people, they'll judge something. Nintendo always does something bizarre. And everyone's like, that's going to be so dumb. And then the Switch, like everyone was like, the Switch is it's gonna flop. It's so dumb. It's not gonna work. Boom! It's breaking records like just out of the gate. And like if Nintendo's gonna do something, I'm like, all right, let's see what you got. Let me see it.
For the record, I was all on board with the Switch as long as the graphics weren't in 64 or GameCube era graphics.
For the record, I also was on board with the Switch, especially once I heard that they had support from third-party developers and all not just like, oh, Nintendo games, like, the Wii library.
Yeah.
you look at the library for the Nintendo Wii and you're just like,
Ooh.
What happened?
Yeah, exactly. What happened here? But seeing like games like Skyrim and Doom and
Dark Souls,
Wolfenstein and Dark Souls on Switch, I was like, hell yeah.
This is gonna be great time for Nintendo. But the Labo, roll it back to Labo.
Yes.
I mean, it's super creative on Nintendo's part, man.
It's I'm sure there's some guy who just like he's probably just in R&D and he's just like making papercraft. And everybody's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "It's a thing that you can put on the Switch." And everybody's like, "Whoa, hold on a minute." It's like, turn that into a piano, and he did.
It's just so mind blowing on some of that stuff.
Crazy, yeah. I'm kind of excited.
I want to see it firsthand.
Yeah.
I want to sit there and put the controller in and sit there and hit the damn keyboard. Mostly, I want to see how it works.
Yeah.
I want to know how that works because that
reveal your secrets.
It fascinates me beyond no end because it's like I don't see anything touching the keys on the Joy-Con.
Yeah, because like I watched it and like all of them were, I was like, okay, those are all kind of cool. Like the fishing rod, that's a neat little thing. The boxing one, or not boxing, but the robot one was really cool. But then the piano was just kind of blew my mind. I was like, oh, I need to know what's happening in there.
Exactly. So I'm stoked. I'm a little turned off by the price, but I'll wait and see.
If the games are good, then it is what it is.
Then it's worth it. Yeah.
So. For all we know, it could be the next Kinect.
That's true.
Yeah.
It could be a Kinect.
To be fair, the Kinect was popular for a long time.
With some shitty stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing good Kinect was for was Just Dance.
The only thing good Kinect was good for was walking into your room and be like, Xbox, turn on. And then turned on. And it would log you in because it knew what you looked like. It's like, hey, fat guy. Welcome back. So I read a comment somewhere. Someone was like, I think Nintendo took the idea of loot boxes in the wrong direction.
So right now, I think the two that are going to be coming out at the time when Labo is launched is the Variety Kit, which includes the Toy-Con RC car, the fishing rod. They're all called Toy-Cons, by the way. A house.
Oh, yeah, I saw the house. I was like, the hell is this about?
You can interact with, play games, and feed a cute creature on the front-facing Nintendo Switch screen. That's house. A motorbike.
Connectables again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And piano. And then you can get the robot kit. The robot kit is $80. The variety kit is $70. And then, of course, the robot kit is just like you see on the videos where the guy's got all the fucking rubber bands and he's like punching shit.
Yeah.
And so, to be determined.
So wait, does the variety kit come with everything?
Most everything.
And it's $70.
Does the robot kit come with the variety stuff too?
No. Robot kit is soul kit by itself.
So the piano, fishing rod, and all that stuff comes for $70.
Yeah.
And then the badass robot is $80.
Yeah.
Huh. That's actually not that bad. I mean, the robot.
It's terrible for a robot.
The robot thing is a little. It seems a little weird, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot because it's a big ass
lot of
backpack.
cardboard.
It's a lot going into that.
So I'm assuming the box is probably massive.
Was he wearing a VR headset with that?
I don't think so.
Because it kind of looked like it. I like when I was shit, man. I don't know. How would he be holding the screen?
I'm just watching it on a TV.
Nah.
Yeah, it's in its dock, and you're watching it on TV.
Nah.
Yeah.
He had that in a backpack, and it had a wired headset.
I don't think so.
$10.
I was all on board.
$10.
I was all on board until I learned that the robot is separate from everything else, and you have to pay $80 just to get the robot.
Yeah.
I'll probably do it.
It's steep, but
It's amazing. Listen, we
I'll
love
go for the
Nintendo.
variety pack.
Nintendo is best. But yeah, variety pack will probably be the best selling.
that will probably be.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't see myself spending $80 on fucking piece of cardboard for a robot.
Oh boy,
Exactly.
I can.
Yeah, well, yeah, you do that.
'Cause I have
shit.
a problem that no one has acknowledged.
I make my own robot, man.
Exactly. You
I'll
can't.
just make my own cardboard.
I was gonna say you can't tell me there's gonna be some son of a bitches out there that are gonna sit there and go, here's your template for all this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
I'll just download
you
the
won't
template
get the
from
game.
online.
Yeah,
It's $60 worth of cardboard, but whatever.
yeah. You won't be able to get the game, but well, shoot, it may be available in store for cheaper.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll find out soon. That's the Labo, but that was one thing that I was really excited to talk about this week. One last thing. This is just kind of a high level thing. YouTube is fucking over all their small creators again.
Oh boy.
What else is new?
YouTube.
I know I'm not going to dwell on it a whole lot, but they're changing the way you can monetize as a channel. This was really fucking a lot of small channels over so hardcore just because they don't have that kind of following that's required anymore. YouTube is saying this doesn't affect 99% of the people, or it's like what?
We're in the 1%.
I guess so. So
technically, it doesn't affect us either because we weren't monetizing.
we're not monetizing to begin with. We're doing this for fun, but all I could say to that is, if you're a small channel, seek outside funding sources.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't rely on YouTube.
Yeah,
They're gonna do nothing but kill you.
I was listening to Philip DeFranco talk about it. He's like, if you have, say, 1,000, you're getting 1,000 subscribers, or 1,000 subscribers,
4,000 views.
Well, no, 1,000 subs.
Yeah,
and if you're relying on monetization from YouTube, you're not making that much money, regardless. But say you go to Teespring, you get one shirt, you get 8 people to buy your shirt every month. Boom, you're making way more money off of YouTube than you are off of just selling, t-shirts for you. Just a simple logo on your shirt, and boom, making money, and then you can just build off that way. I don't know why I keep saying, but I did. So just yeah. I mean, like, it doesn't cost much to make a shirt as long as you're selling these shirts. Yeah. There's YouTube should not be. If you're relying on YouTube, then you're doing it wrong. You should be looking, Patreon, Teespring, just any of these other ways that you can get money coming in.
Yeah, YouTube's not going to do anything for you. So
if you're new and starting out and wanting to do YouTube,
go to Twitch.
Don't do it for the money.
That's no lie. Don't do it for the money.
Don't do it. Yeah,
don't do it for the money. Just do it for fun.
Yeah, first
that's what my channel's
for.
Right now.
You have to love doing it. You have to enjoy doing it, because if you come in here, I'm gonna make a ton of money. Give it a month, you'll be out. Because one, you're not gonna make money in the first year. Probably not even the first 5 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
It seems to be the song that everybody has sung, and what we've experienced ourselves. Since starting this channel, it's like I told those at home who are watching, when I talked about this with everybody here, I said we're doing this for fun.
Yeah,
because trying to recapture some of our youth here, and That's where
It's
we're
S7
going.
radio all over again.
If anybody's watched my channel, I've mentioned in multiple Let's Plays of mine that the reason why I'm doing it is to recapture those moments of me, sitting there playing the game and some friends sitting behind me on the bed or the couch, just watching along with me, and enjoying it as I talk about the game or we make jokes or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy most about doing my Let's Plays.
Yeah.
But yeah, anybody who wants to do YouTube, it also requires like a certain like personality, a persona that you got to portray sometimes to really like capture a lot of people today.
Yeah, if you want to get into Let's Plays, first off, this community is way too saturated. Don't. But if you really want to, bring a character and bring a very good character. Don't be yourself. Be loud, obnoxious. Just yell at the camera for a good 15 minutes and boom, you're making it.
pretend to be scared.
I don't have to. I'm legitimately afraid.
Yeah,
that's why I liked your videos so much, because it was genuine. It wasn't like or anything like that,
Sure.
Because the way like you got scared, TJ, was a lot more hilarious to me than watching somebody go on a screen. Because TJ sits there and starts going, shit, no, fuck you, fuck off, fuck this, fuck, cuss, shit, this is awful. So
Make sure to swear at Michael a couple times. Fuck you for making me play this.
So good.
But
anyway.
So that's the news this week. There's nothing more to say about it.
No.
That's it. So, guys, let's move on to one of my favorite segments. Email. If you have an email that you want read on the VGBit BitCast, you can send your emails to bitcast@vgbit.com, vgbits.com, bitcast@vgbits.com. We will read it on the air.
Almost made it perfect the whole way through.
I know. I hate that when I fuck it up. It annoys me beyond no.
I was about to say, boom, one take, but no, he didn't.
I screwed it up. Son of a bitch. Guys, last week, apparently we did have an email.
Yay.
Yeah. It didn't want to push to me in time for the podcast, so it ended up being late.
Well, that's okay, because now we have a Weemail.
A Weemail for this week?
Weemail.
All right, guys. So this week, we are going to be reading last week's email. It is from Drillian. He sent this in, says, subject line, guess what? Says, you have an email. But really, I wanted to make sure y'all had an interesting email to read this week. Technically last week, but this week is good. He goes, my question to you lot is, if you were to create a game, what genre would you design it in? And what would it be about?
That's the hardest question. Every question is hard. All these questions are hard. You guys ask hard questions. Ask me, what's my favorite color? What kind of pizza toppings do you like?
What, you want softballs here, man?
Softball,
no, we're
man.
here for the hard
I'm
stuff.
in Little League. I'm just kidding. Don't ask me softball questions. I will not.
I've got one.
All right, Michael, you can kick it off.
I would make an RPG.
Okay.
About UberQuest.
That is pretty much exactly what I figured it was going to be, because you've got a whole backstory written for all of that right now, and characters. It could literally be a game right now.
Yes. That's something that a lot of people have asked us about, saying, when you make a game, and it's like, that takes time.
Yeah.
And it already takes a lot of time just to draw the damn thing.
That's a huge time investment.
There's no way that we ourselves would be able to make it. But if I could, I would make an RPG about UberQuest.
So here's my question. Would you base the game on your comic, like the story, or would you create a whole new story arc for the game?
It would probably be based on the comic.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Because we have the whole story written out.
Yeah.
If we wanted to make another game like about a side story, we'd have to write a whole new story.
I would personally like to see just the actual story. I wouldn't want a side arc in the world.
Right.
I want to see those characters in those situations in the game.
Yeah.
It can be written. I mean, it can be done. It's
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not going to say it's easy because it's writing a game is going to be, way different than writing for a comic, but the source material's there. Mm-hmm. Just having to source it out though to folks who have the skills to be able to do that. At this point, you're like, okay, I will license this to a studio, and then I will sit on your board and tell you if I like it or not.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of my favorite games. Kingdom of Amalur is based on R.A. Salvatore's books, and like he wrote the whole story for the game, and then basically set in on all the design stuff to make sure the game fit what he envisioned. Which, if you haven't played Kingdoms of Amalur. Nope, I didn't actually make a video on that one.
It's on Steam. Go play.
It is on Steam. It's a good game. It still holds up really well. I think it's an Xbox 360 game. It still holds up really well.
And the music is by Grant Kirkhope, which is awesome.
I don't know who that is.
What?
Yeah, nope.
Okay.
Who is Grant Kirkhope?
Kirkhope.
Grant Kirkhope.
Kirkhope.
He did music for Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, okay.
He also did it for why am I blanking? I forgot. I forgot the name of the title now. Help.
He did a few tracks for GoldenEye 007.
Okay.
He did music for Star Fox Adventures, Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong 64. He did a lot of games. His music is awesome.
I've blanked now.
He did ukulele.
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Ukulele.
I could not remember ukulele. Saved my life. I'm just sitting here going, it's the thing with the green one and the purple one.
I want to say a lot of the artwork was by Seth MacFarlane also. For
Kingdoms of Amalur? Really?
Yeah, I want to say, but I'm not looking at the art or Wikipedia on it right now. But I'm wondering because I remember just seeing that and I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. And anyone who doesn't know Seth MacFarlane, he did the Spawn comics, and also tons of other awesome shit. But even if you didn't, Seth MacFarlane's great. I keep wanting to say, what the hell's the other? What's the?
I know who you're wanting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family Guy guy. Yeah.
I can't remember his name either.
I keep wanting to say, is it Seth MacFarlane?
Hold on, I'll answer
guy.
your question.
I actually do have another game that I've always wanted to make.
Oh yeah.
But I'll let you guys finish yours first, and I'll because that'd be unfair to do two in one.
Yeah, I'm kind of fucking blanking now.
It is Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, right.
No, that's the guy who made Family
Is it?
Guy. Yeah.
Crap! Now who's the guy who did the Spawn comics? It's Seth MacFarlane too, isn't it?
Todd McFarlane.
Todd McFarlane. Fuck. Fuck. Everyone's probably like, oh, this fucking asshole.
Hey, I was right there along with you because I fucked it up too. I was like, yeah, that sounds right.
Can you imagine Kingdoms of Amalur and Family Guy style?
Fucking
No.
Peter around.
No.
I'm on a horse.
Stop it. No.
So that's the game I want to make is an RPG, just all Family Guy style. No, that'd be fucking terrible.
Yeah, I would.
Man, I don't know. I was thinking about this earlier, and I can't remember what I was thinking about because it was a pretty good idea. Shit. I would make a new Twisted Metal style game, car combat.
Hadn't seen one in a while.
Yeah, I really, really love them. Like, you remember Auto Assault?
Yes.
We got super excited for that. I think we all pre-ordered it, and then none of us played it. Actually, I might have been the only one.
I think you were the only one that pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
Boy, that game just didn't fly.
No, it did not do well. I mean, it was fun to play. Shit, who was it was NCSoft and whoever made Guild Wars. Is it Play Arena or Arena something? I think those are who. I know it was NCSoft.
Yeah, it was NCSoft.
Yeah, but super excited for that. And I played it. It was fun. It was basically like if Twisted Metal were an MMO, but not as good as Twisted Metal. But it was okay.
Or as good as an MMO.
Yeah, I want to make like I would love to do like a huge open world car combat game. It's like I mean, I know it would be bad. It would not be fun because it wouldn't work. Just because I've played Grand Theft Auto and someone's running around with the tank and it's not fun because you just blow up my car. I was just driving by, asshole. But yeah, I would want to make a new car combat, probably an arena combat
And a classic car combat game,
Yeah.
like a classic feel
Yeah,
car
yeah.
combat game, I think that would work well because
I would want
there is a game.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I would want to do it like using the engine from Grand Theft Auto because I really love their physics engine for their cars.
Mhm.
I would want to use that and then just slam some weapons on the cars, throw them into like a Vigilante 8 style, area where you have, you're in a solar farm or a wind farm or you're in a small section of a city, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Down, up, machine gun.
A
Pretty good.
classic car combat game is something that I would be stoked to see.
Yeah.
Much like Road to Redemption is the new Road Rash, which I'm looking forward to playing.
Hold on, before we go any further, now that you and actually go ahead. I'm gonna add on to this.
Okay. Much like Road to Redemption is a new Road
It's just
Rash, which is, I
It's
I
just
remember
Road
playing
Redemption. No road.
is it
It's
just Road Redemption?
yeah.
Sorry. I've played a little bit of it, and it is good, and I enjoy that because it's a very Road Rash inspired game. You can't mess it up because there was a game that came out last year called Road Rage, which was another game trying to be like Road Rash. It was awful.
Oh, really?
It was absolutely awful. Now, if somebody's gonna make a new car combat game, they need to make it classic car combat like Twisted Metal or Vigilante 8. They can't. You can't add new stuff in and expect it to be that good. What?
I spilled
sorry.
water all over myself.
TJ can't drink. Uh-oh.
Oh no!
He roboed. No, come back. Come back, Michael.
It's a hilarious face.
He was like, what? And you're just like someone's like, hold on 1 second. Oh, no.
We'll be right back. Oh wow!
Yeah, he roboed. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. And we're back.
Welcome back. You were saying about Road Redemption.
Yes.
Yeah, I was saying Road Rage came out last year. It was
Right.
awful. If you were to make a new car game, a new car combat game, you need to make it classic and keep to the roots of like those classic car combat games. There was a game that came out last year called Crossout, which is a car combat game, but they added in a crafting
Oh,
section
nope.
that you can make your own car, and people did that, and it was so exploitable that you could just go
Yeah.
and own anybody.
Yeah. See, when you start adding in crafting things, you immediately run into a balance issue.
So that is my suggestion. If you want to make like a car combat game, make like 7, 8, 9 unique characters
Yeah.
with their own abilities, like in those old games,
Mhm.
and make it silly. Make
Yeah.
Slick Clyde again. Or Convoy or like Twisted Metal characters like Roadkill or Outlaw
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah. Man, it's just something like even Twisted Metal Black. And I know everyone hated it. I love that one so much, just because it felt much more modern. It just felt good.
Also, make original music
Yeah.
for it. Twisted Metal 1 and 2 had their own original soundtracks, which sounded awesome. And then ever since Twisted Metal 3, they started including like actual
Rob
like
Zombie.
copyrighted songs like Rob Zombie, and
Yeah.
and I was just like, why? I
So-
mean, it's cool, I guess, but
Yeah. To be fair, Twisted Metal 3 got me into Rob Zombie and all that music. It was a good time.
I looked. Side note: I looked back on Twisted Metal 3 recently
Yeah.
just to like see it. And you remember what we were talking about, moving from 2D to 3D
Yeah.
earlier? Twisted Metal 1 and 2, especially Twisted Metal 2. Remember the cutscenes?
Yeah.
It was just like 2D, like panning of like a character, and it was
Yeah.
Calypso being like, "Hello, I'm Calypso" or whatever. And it was
Yeah.
like it was charming and cool
Yeah.
and funny. I looked back at Twisted Metal 3. It was bad.
It was real bad. Yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking back then. I guess it was new, but the cameras, as the camera's moving, like Calypso's head would always like turn, like where if the camera were like changing over here or over here, Calypso's head would lock to the camera. So it's moving, and he's sitting here talking, and his mouth movement is like, "Hello, I am Calypso, and I am the owner of Twisted Metal." And I was just like, "Oh man, it looks bad." I need to link this to you guys after the podcast. It's bad.
Why do I have so much gold now?
Yeah. You're welcome for that, by the way.
Oh my god, it's
All
so
right.
good.
Anyway,
All right.
continue.
All right. For me, it would be a point-and-click adventure game. Would be the genre. That's my steez.
Yeah.
I like me some point-and-click adventure games. Situation surrounding it is the hard part because for most of a lot of stuff that I've seen out there it's kind of hit where I wanted to be at. Even there's one that's on Steam called Deponia.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a Data Lake Software made. It was a wraparound back on some of the old classic point-and-click adventure games. That shit is just so good. Damn, I really don't... I'm at a loss. I know I want to make a point-and-click adventure game, but I don't know what to base it off of.
How to be a podcaster.
It could be anything.
Podcaster adventures.
I know.
Make it about anything. You remember Toonstruck? You remember that point-and-click adventure, Toonstruck?
Oh, wait.
It was Christopher Lloyd.
Oh,
zapped into a cartoon world. That was awesome.
Oh, you know what? I would love to see. I would like to make a follow-up on a point-and-click adventure game to King's Quest VII.
I
Okay.
can't comment.
I'm sorry.
I've never played a King's Quest game, so I can't comment.
Well, that was the if I remember correctly, King's Quest VII was the Princess's Quest.
Yeah, for Princeless Bride. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the hand animated one.
Yes.
With, Rosella and her mother. What was her damn name?
I forgot.
Valenice, Queen Valenice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one you kept showing me.
Dude, that
That's
was
the one
I watched like a lot. Did we watch all of it? Or a lot
I did it for my channel. And there was a lot of moments in the game that I was like, oh man, I don't remember this. This is cheesy as fuck. But it's still a great point and click adventure. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there was moments in there that I was just like,
So I would say I want to bring back something in that vein in the King's Quest vein for a point and click adventure.
Yeah,
that's a good choice. I like that idea.
They recently redid it with where the King Graham was talking about his past exploits it was released on Steam, Xbox One.
Yeah, it was a brand new King's Quest, just called King's Quest.
Yeah, but I'd still want to do the old hand animated style.
Yeah.
I guess anything in that style, hand animated and being a point and click adventure game. Insert whatever subject that happens to be interesting at that time. Maybe we could have a VGBits point and click adventure game.
Go to work. That was boring. Come back. Record. Yay. Edit. Boo. Upload. Go to bed.
Your mixer's not working. Find the thing that's going to fix your mixer, son of a bitch.
There's so many cables here.
Yeah. Have each and every single cable labeled in the game. Just like all the books in Thimbleweed Park.
There you go.
Couldn't think of the name.
I kept wanting to say Driftwood.
By the way, y'all will see exactly what we're talking about in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's super good.
So,
I say inappropriate things.
All the inappropriate things. All right. I guess that's going to do it for this week, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me on the podcast.
It was a good time.
I had a blast. If you want to have your emails read on the BitCast, please send your emails in. We will read them. So, without further ado, we will see you next time on the VGBits BitCast. Bye, everyone.